Giovanni.
At 11 exactly, according to. At 11 exactly, according to. Yeah, you should probably have your volume turned off, Ayana.
Yeah, I thought I did. It's fine.
I forgot about the. Well, I didn't forget about the TikTok dance, but I'll explain why I'm not going to do a TikTok dance this time around. I'm going to get yelled at by them.
No, Natalie fell down the stairs, busted her lip open, and elbowed something.
Which Natalie?
Paralysis?
That sounds about right. Sounds terrible. I'm sorry for her. I blame you for it.
The first question of the assignment confused them. Why sexual reproduction has evolved, or something.
Oh, who said that?
Louise.
I know 3 is your
and
sister.
Alex.
Okay. Well, I didn't know if it was one person or if it was multiple. So right now I'm just standing here with you, standing here blankly because we are at 10 people. We'll see if we can get above 10 people. That would be nice.
Do you want to close the blinds? It's kind of hard to see the
Board?
Yeah.
Still.
Wait. Yeah.
Could it be this, maybe?
No.
Or is it? I don't know.
Now it's good.
Oh, it's good. You can see it well?
I think so.
I don't know. We'll see.
I don't think the light helped.
You don't think the light helped? Yeah, but then it's really dark in here. Isn't it? Okay, we're at 10 still. We'll wait. Nothing better than class in bed. Morning, Bestie. How are you feeling today? Alright, so there's 10 people right now. Whatever. That's fine. Tired. Let me explain the important stuff that we need to get to first. And the important stuff is about moving forward. So, in order to make sure that people are interacting at least with the work, preferably watching the videos when they're up, or at least once I've, afterwards is fine. There will be quizzes that will be posted to the Google Classroom every week. What I'm going to do is I'll leave those quizzes up. I'll probably put them up Wednesday after class. We'll talk more about that. But they'll be up at the end of the week. They'll be up for probably 2 days. After that, I'm going to take them down and assess a grade for them. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the average score that you get for all of them. So let's say there's this week, there's next week, there's one more week. That's 3. Each one, I think, has 5 or 6 questions. So I'll average it together. Now, if you don't take one week, that means you get a 0. So if you had 2 6s and a 0, that's 12 divided by 3, so you get 4. Then when we get back, I'm going to enter that in as extra credit. So if you take the quiz every week, you can get more extra credit points. If you don't take the quiz every week, you're not going to get all the extra credit points. The quizzes will cover, this one has some random things. One of the questions, and we're going to get to right now, or in a second, is about how you're doing. Then there's a question about my shirt, so you might want to make note of my shirt. And then there's a couple questions about the work that you did. So, the first thing is, type this in the comments. Ayana who's monitoring, will let me know what you said. How's everybody doing, and what are you doing to keep yourselves kind of entertained and just mentally not broken down during this weird time?
Natalie elbowed her sister, as
Well,
we saw.
Yeah, as we saw, Natalie elbowed her sister, which is, come on, 5.
Giovanni said, "How's your lockdown going?"
My lockdown is going very well. My lockdown's going very well. I'm trying to keep things on a schedule, so I spend a little bit of time doing work. Ayana, who is hiding behind the camera, and I have been working out and running, and then we've been watching TV a little bit. So, what have you been doing? What do they have? What's anybody been doing interesting?
Louis says home renovations and stressing over homework.
Don't stress over homework too much. What else?
Um,
Home renovations and stressing over homework.
Me when I build a shelf.
Me when I build a shelf.
Listening to music, homework, and chores.
Who's listening to music?
Malin.
Eileen.
Putting my homework emails to trash. Thank you, Victor.
Yeah, probably don't want to do that. Victor, you're hurting me. Okay, so the thing that I want to let you know is I am going to continue tracking, but what I decided I want to do to make sure that people are doing work, so if you're watching this video later as opposed to watching it live, make note of this, please, because this is going to be very important. So I'm going to give, the way I'm going to grade when we come back, obviously, as of right now, CPS's guideline is that the grades can't negatively impact you, they can only benefit you, so things will be done in an extra credit way. For me, there were a couple ways of looking at this. Now, you as 11th grade IB students, the work that I'm giving you now, you are going to do one time or another. What I mean by that is you're either going to do it now while you're at home, while everybody's at home and everything is locked down, or you will be doing this over the summer. Those are the only two options. The reason for that is our class is really tightly scheduled all the way through till the end of your senior year. For that reason, there's material that we have to get through. Now, as you remember, I told you that there's work that you will be assigned over summer break. When we get back, I'm going to assume that you've been doing the work. If you haven't been doing the work that I've been assigning and having you do, then you're not going to know that material. You're going to be responsible for teaching yourself that material over the summer. Now, the problem with that is when summer comes, 1, it's going to be nice outside. 2, things will be open again. Beaches will probably be open again. Stores will be open again. Movie theaters will be open again. Restaurants will be open again. You will want to be out of your house doing things. So it is my encouragement to you, don't waste time. Use this time when you're sitting at home. You've got not that much else to do. Do this work now, because that way you're not doing it over the summer when you'd rather be doing something much better. So that's 1. 2, for the 2 weeks, next week and then that week before the 21st, because we are going to still take the spring break week off. That's the week of Monday the 6th till Friday the 10th. We're not going to do anything that week. There's going to be no work scheduled that's due that week. I probably won't upload any videos during that week because you're not responsible for anything. It feels okay. So that's important. But we're going to add a day possibly. Well, okay, story time.
Story time.
We'll add story time, mainly. I meant no class videos. No classroom videos. I've got 2 books ready to go, or 3 right now for story time. Sorry about that. Okay. I'm going to possibly add 1 class because there's some PowerPoints, and I don't really like just making you do PowerPoints on your own. So you'll probably get an email with an invite for a Zoom class. I just haven't decided exactly what day. The reason for that is if we use Zoom as opposed to just YouTube, I can go through the PowerPoint, put the PowerPoint on your screen with my little face on the screen as I explain it. kind of just a way to go through notes really quickly. Not going to go through notes as extensively as we would in class, and I'm just looking to make sure that I can record that and then possibly upload that or even email it to the people who participated. As I said, we're going to have end of week quizzes. That's going to start with this week. The reason being, I want to make sure that as many people are actually participating with the work as possible. The way it's going to work is, yes, you're going to get points for the work that you finish, but you're going to get, it's going to be about a 50-50 where you'll be benefited just as much by doing well on these quizzes. And I'm going to probably give like 1 point of the quiz for attendance. So if you haven't, and you're one of the people who's here, put a comment. The comment could be a thumbs up, a thumbs down. Hey, why is there no story time? There will be. Just so I know that you were watching this video, and then I can give you, I'm going to give 2 points for the people who watched it live, and then when I go through, if I can see that somebody watched the video, I'll give them 1 for that. All right. Do we have any other questions about anything, or anybody want to say what they've been doing, or make a story time request even? Or are we ready? Okay, did anybody have questions about the work? I know a couple of you had questions or didn't understand the first question on the packet. There were a couple of you who indicated that. Any other questions about the work? Oh, that's from a mile away. Make a wish. Boom, I just did.
Hard eyes. Malin learned 2 TikTok dances yesterday. Easy.
Mayleen's killing it. Propose 3 hypotheses to explain why sexual reproduction has evolved. At least 20 have been suggested. Okay, that's a good one. So that question is basically asking you, based on your knowledge of biology and your understanding of biological processes, knowing that you're not an expert, what are 3 possible, because remember, when we think about a hypothesis, we're talking about a possible explanation of phenomena based on background research and knowledge, right? So you've got background knowledge, and now you want to have this possible explanation for the phenomenon of sexual reproduction. Why is it something that's evolved? So you think about, well, what are some reasons that sexual reproduction has evolved in organisms? What are some biological benefits of it? And go from there, right? Think about what it helps. One thing would be, you could think about what are the downsides of always having a copy of an exact copy of something, right? As opposed to having genetic variation. These are the things that you should think about when you answer that question. I know that this might not seem like the most helpful, but that's really what it is. It's just asking you, what reasons do you propose led to, were the driving force behind whatever sexual reproduction becoming a thing? I don't know. Did that help at all? This is really weird, as opposed to like in class when I can just ask and kids can nod or look angry.
Drop an angry emoji if you understand.
Drop an angry emoji if you understand. Okay.
It made sense.
Made sense. Oh my god, this clay is. Oh, it like stuck to the weight, but we're gonna have to like. That's gross. Okay. So I wanted to talk really quickly. Did you get your notes about? Hopefully you did. Took your notes about. You're welcome. About crossing over. So with crossing over, I thought your chromosome was all good. It's the one that's falling apart. Okay, so we've got 2 lovely little chromosomes here, right? They're not exact. They're just hanging out with chromosomes. I'm trying to keep. I made a crummy chromosome. It's like falling apart. So crossing over just means here's 2 chromosomes, right? And when we'll get to how they split, but sometimes they basically, one part breaks off, and falls to the ground. One part breaks off and reattaches. I lost it. One part breaks off and reattaches, right? So the chromosome changes just a bit. That's crossing over. Your chromosome is really falling apart. Sturdy chromosome, made by Mr. Lay. That's a sturdy chromosome, made by Ayana. Look at that. Look at that. Falling off. Okay. The other thing that I wanted to go over with you, can you see the circles, Ayana, or are they a little too light?
No, I cannot see them.
Does this make them more visible?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll redraw these circles. So I wanted to talk about something you're going to see in your notes called nondisjunction. It's hard to tell what shows up. I'm looking at possibly getting a whiteboard as opposed to using what I currently have, this current setup. So instead of being super ghetto, we'll be a little bit better off able to see things. So with nondisjunction, what we're talking about is the splitting of chromosomes and where an error can occur. So if I've got normally, right?
I can't really see that. Yes.
If I've got a normal thing, I've got 4 sets. I've got 2 pairs of each, right? And then this is going to go off over here. Well, that's not what I meant to do. This is going to go off over here. So it's going to send half. Now what ends up happening sometimes in what we call nondisjunction, it means that they don't send things where they're supposed to. So instead of these sending 2 to each side, these are going to send all 4 to one side and none over here, right? So what it's meaning is you're not going to get enough of the chromosomes. So here, they're going to have give them two pinks and a purple, and these will just have a purple. It's in this way that we sometimes get extra chromosomes, right? The most typical example of this, and you'll see it in the notes, is trisomy, meaning 3 chromosomes as opposed to 2. In the 21st chromosome, that's when if you remember the karyogram, and you'll see in the notes, you'll see examples of the karyograms, where on the 21st chromosome there's an extra one, and that leads to what's known as Down syndrome. As you look through, you'll see that children who have Down syndrome, they do have some suppressed mental capabilities. There is some very typical phenotypical presentation in terms of the facial shape and the facial construction, the closeness of the eyes, all that. These are caused by having an extra chromosome, a 3rd chromosome at the 21st. Normally you have a pair on each, but at the 21st one, they'll have 3 instead of 2. That leads to Down syndrome. Children with Down syndrome usually live very productive, very happy, healthy lives, very able to contribute very meaningfully and very wonderfully in society. Now, this is not the case on every one. There are some other that you'll look at in the PowerPoint that I put on the notes. There are some other cases of a trisomy or an extra chromosome where it's very unlikely that the child will live beyond their first year. It really depends with this where it occurs. on whether it's something that is minor and causes no issues, or is something that's extremely severe and leads to the baby not being viable past 1, maybe 2 years. So it really depends on those. You will probably end up with a lot of questions on this. That's okay. Make sure though that you're going through the notes and the PowerPoints. That one isn't very difficult. You are going to have all new things uploaded Friday. I will be putting up new things just for the end, just to work through next week, because as it stands, I think I have you doing stuff for Monday. So I just need to give you, for the SL group, just 2 more assignments that'll get you through till spring break, when you get to be at home as opposed to now. And then during spring break, I'll upload things, but none of the due dates will be until that week after. And then next thing you know, we are scheduled to be back. So hopefully we are, and everything's wonderful. Does anybody have any questions right now about any of this stuff? They get segments from the mom to the dad and vice versa, yes. Does anybody have any questions about anything regarding nondisjunction, meiosis, crossing over? Why Mr. Lay can't dance? No questions? No questions. Okay. At about 1 o'clock today, I think, the quiz will just show up in your, unless you're, it might have shown up in one of the classes already because I scheduled it wrong. But while I'm doing these videos for the other classes, your quiz will pop up. Go ahead and take it. Remember my shirt. Just describe it as best you can. And there's a couple questions in there for you over the work. I think there's one question about what I showed you. Get that set up, and then I can give you points for it. Could you give a meiosis presentation? I think I did mine wrong. You actually probably didn't do yours wrong. I can give a meiosis presentation. I can't do it right now because I only have the 2 socks I'm wearing. What I will do is... What?
So do you need me to grab socks?
No. The reason I'm not going to have you grab socks right now is what I'll do is I will go ahead and I will create what the video was supposed to look like, and I'll upload that for you if you think that will help. Because what I've seen so far, I think the work that I've seen so far has looked good. So, yay. Very few people turned it in. So, that's good. That's not good. It's bad. It's very bad. Turn in your stuff. Turn in your stuff. Okay. Any other questions about this stuff? Are we all good? We all feel happy, confident, and ready to just be wonderful. Okay, then with that, let me take a minute just to encourage you. I know during the shutdown, it is really easy to fall into a habit of just doing the same thing over and over and over and over and every day. I just encourage you, try to be varied in your actions. Try to get up, move around when you can. Today's going to be a nice day. Don't take that as an opportunity to go and gather with a group of people. You know better than that. But maybe get out, go for a walk or something like that. Just keep your distance from people. It's a nice way to keep away from strangers. Just tell them you're sick. Start coughing if some strange person comes up to you. Oh. All right. Have a wonderful day. I will see you next week.
Tell them why you're not making a TikTok.
Oh, why I didn't make it? Did that question come up, or is that just you?
That was just me remembering.
Okay. Ayana said you didn't tell why I'm not making a TikTok, or why I'm not doing why I didn't do the TikTok dance.
Do it.
Oh, so I didn't do a TikTok dance because I was not expecting, in the time from the last video I recorded and this video, I was not expecting to have to do the amount of work that I did to prepare for the upcoming classes. I wasn't expecting to hear that we would be in quite the situation we are in terms of the shutdown. So now that I feel a little bit better about that, and I'm through with a lot of regrading of the 12th graders' internal assessments, as I finish that, I will get to, that'll be one thing Ayana and I will do. We will stand in front of the TV and we'll practice some dances. We'll change them because obviously we all put our own spin on it, our own flair on it, do our own thing. I doubt she's gonna join me because that's how she is. So she'll dance behind the camera. I'll dance over here, and we'll do it. I promise. I promise. I promise. But that's it for now. I'm gonna get everything reset. I gotta change my shirt for the next class because I think that would be funny. And then I will see you all next week. Have a wonderful, 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 wonderful day.